What it do? What it do? Y'all already know what it is. You tuned in to another episode of Everything Boxing. Salute to everybody in the building. Omega Red off in the building. What's happening with it? Mr. DBMH off in the building. What's good with it? Dwayne Freeman off in the building. Chris Mitchell, what's happening with it, fam? Leon Robinson off in the building. And when y'all come in the building, y'all already know, smash on that like button. How y'all feeling today? What's happening with it? Yeah, we gonna cook another day. Y'all already know how we do. Yes, sir. We gonna cook today. Y'all already know. Big Omega Red, smooth groove boxing off in the building. What's happening with it? The Queen Sheena off in the building. What's happening, Sheena? Y'all give me one quick second. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Cali Fire in the building. Salute, salute. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get it started. We're gonna get it started. Like I said, when you come in the building, smash on that like button. D Walker in the building. Yeah, when you come in the building, make sure that y'all smash on that like button. So we just gonna go ahead and get it started off. You know, I don't want to waste no time. So it looks like I was saying all along, don't look like we about to get that George Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez fight. It does not look like we about to get that fight. And let me pull up this little article for y'all. Okay, so it says that George Kambosos' legal counsel has sent a letter to the IBF. Excuse me. He sent a letter to the IBF requesting the organization find Triller in default of purse bid for breach of contract for failing to deliver the bout with Teofimo Lopez on October the 4th at Hulu Theater in MSG Madison Square Garden. So, Kambosos' team, he's suing Triller, right, for breach of contract. They trying to sue Triller for breach of contract. Now, this definitely means that this fight ain't finna happen. You know what I'm saying? The fight's not gonna happen. And then on top of that, these are, I think, Evander Holyfield and Roy Jones was going through a lawsuit with Triller. So Triller, they out here doing real bad business. They fucking up all around the board. And when this fight was moved 2 times in a row, I already knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen. So, with that being said, who believes that Teofimo Lopez ever really had the COVID virus? Who actually believes that now? And then, with that being said, if he didn't have it, I can't say 100% that he didn't have COVID. But if he didn't have COVID, who put him up to it? Was it Triller that got in Teofimo Lopez's ear and was like, hey, this event ain't turning out like it's supposed to be? You're going to have to say that you got COVID and, to give us some time to get things together so you can get your money. Because something ain't right with this whole thing. And like I said, I'm not surprised at all that the fight ain't going down. It's not going to go down. You know what I'm saying? And it's more to it, too. I'm trying to find the story. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the rest of it because let me see. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. Also, right? This is more news on it, right? It says, per sources, Kambosos requested more than $300K to sign the contract. When I asked Kavanaugh if he would pay, he said he won't since he didn't give Lopez additional money. So Kavanaugh, I guess he's the head of Triller. He the one that's coming out the bag, paying these fighters, right? So Kambosos asked for $300,000 up front to sign the contract because he's like, man, y'all keep moving this shit and moving it around. Hey, you want me to sign this new contract? Give me $300K up front. And they was like, nah, we ain't giving you nothing because we didn't give Teofimo Lopez nothing to sign up front. So this ain't happening. See, this is not going to happen. In this Triller situation, they fucked up, right? All of the news is getting out the bag. And see, people wasn't really paying attention to Mike Tyson when Mike Tyson was trying to tell everybody that Triller ain't doing business right. You know what I'm saying? People was all excited, like, oh, this is a big new company. They're going to come in the boxing. They're going to win all the purse bids. They're going to take over. They're going to put on. I had motherfuckers arguing me down. Well, what if such and such go to Triller? And what if such and such go to Triller? And I was trying to tell people, Triller, how y'all think Triller gonna come into boxing and run shit, right? All of a sudden, this fast, they gonna come into boxing and run shit, and Eddie Hearn couldn't do it. And his father ran shit for years and years on the UK circuit, and he thought he was gonna come over here in America and run boxing and just turn everything around, right? You got cats like Bob Arum that's been in boxing since what? Probably, you know what I'm saying, 50 plus years, that's been in boxing for 50 plus years. And you think you finna come into boxing and take over and outdo him? Come on. And I was actually having to argue with some of y'all about this shit. Well, such and such gonna get his money from Triller, and they can make that fight. They're gonna go over to Triller too. Come on now. Now what Triller looking like? Like some bullshit, like I tried to tell everybody in the beginning. And Mike Tyson, like I said, people didn't want to listen to Mike Tyson. They were still on this Triller shit. And Mike Tyson tried to tell people from the jump, like they do bad business. You know what I'm saying? They do bad business. Jake Paul ain't fucking with Triller. Jake Paul at Showtime. His brother on Showtime. Don't you think if Triller was so big and bad that Jake Paul would have stayed with Triller? He would have stayed with him. Why not? Yeah. See, that's what a lot of these rich moguls do. They think that they can get into boxing and take over boxing, but this shit been going on for years and years and years before some of these motherfuckers even thought of being born. Boxing, it's a very close-knit society, and they not finna let you come and just take over like that. You see, even football, you think a motherfucker can just, oh, well, I got $1 billion, I'm gonna be an NFL owner, I'm gonna take over. No, you're not. So why you think you can do this shit in boxing? They can't. Now Teofimo Lopez, he done fucked off his whole year. Teofimo Lopez has fucked off his whole year, right? Disobeying Bob. He done fucked off his whole year disobeying Bob. But now the whole thing about it is, okay, cool, that's your career. You fucked off your whole year. But now you done drug George Kambosos through the mud and fucked off his whole year. You know what I'm saying? He done fucked off his whole year playing around with you. Trying to get what he deserved, running after you, and you done fucked off his whole year. That's what, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'll be pissed about. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, yeah, but don't fuck nobody else's shit up because you doing bad business. Catman785 says 2 million pay-per-view buys. Yeah. Hey, Poppy, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing, Poppy. My son's gonna do 2 million pay-per-view buys, Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Hey, Poppy, my son will fight them all, Poppy. Hey, you don't know shit about boxing, but my son's gonna do, 4 million pay-per-view buys. At least 2 million pay-per-view buys all on my son, Poppy. Come on, man. Hey, Teofimo Senior be talking that shit, but a lot of it be some bullshit. Dwayne Freeman said, you right. I thought something was up when Tyson left. He says, I said that too. Yeah, man. And y'all hit the like button. Y'all and Knockout Boxing 86 TV was happening with it. Salute. Phil J 508 was good with it. Salute. And if y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying, we celebrate Mr. Wilder. Y'all see the background, less than 2 weeks away. And we're gonna do it. Like I said on my video, this shit right here, this shit bigger than boxing. It's bigger than boxing. So if you know, you know. But y'all smash on the like button. Yeah. So Triller, I don't know what happens next. Like, if I'm George Kambosos, I'm suing their ass. I'm suing their ass for everything they got, right? And then I don't even know where Teofimo Lopez stand in this situation because Teofimo Lopez already signed, right? He signed. He signed for October 4th. Then they moved it to the 16th. Before that, they already had moved to fight, 3 times. So I don't even know if Teofimo Lopez can sue their ass. You dig what I'm saying? I don't even know if Lopez can sue their ass. And on my stream, y'all, I'm getting y'all comments late. So what I got to do is I'm looking at my phone because they coming in on my phone on time, but I'm getting them hella late on the stream, y'all. So I'm going to have to look at my phone for the comments. Let me see. Cassandra Mason in the building. Salute to you, Queen. Knockout say, we 9 days away from the Wilder Fury fight. Just hoping Fury don't pull no bullshit. I'm checking notifications every 5 minutes. Man, I feel you. I feel you, man. If he pulls some bullshit now, well, one thing we do know is he ain't gonna never be able to box again. People gonna be on his helmet. First of all, if he pulls some shit right now, he gonna bring everybody down with him. And I'm not talking about Wilder's side. I'm talking about everybody on his side. Everybody that's probably all his little fighters that he probably got on the undercard. You know what I'm saying? If he got some, I'm pretty sure some fighters in his camp gonna be on the undercard. He gonna bring down Top Rank. He gonna bring down all of the other PBC fighters that need to get paid. He gonna bring down all the fighters on Top Rank that's fighting on that card that need to get paid. See, Wilder gonna be straight. Cause Wilder, you know what I'm saying, he gonna be 80-something million straight. But you know what I'm saying? And even if he do pull something, they got to push it back. Well, that's going to fuck up shit for the whole year for everybody else that's on that card. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't eating like Wilder and Fury. So with that being said, I don't like the man. I don't like nothing about him. But you know what I'm saying? I would like to think that motherfucker ain't the devil. You know what I'm saying? If he did some shit like that, he just the devil. I like to think that he, better than that. You know what I'm saying? I like to think that he better than that. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I can't even believe I'm saying that. So I'm gonna think positive. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna think positive, and I'm gonna say that it's still going down. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say that it's still going down. I'm gonna think positive, because yeah, that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. But on other note, while we speaking about boxing in a Fury situation, knockout brought up, and me saying that he gonna ruin shit for everybody around him and everybody else on the undercards, right? So let's talk about this, right? I'm gonna go ahead and transition right into the next story I want to talk about before we really get into the cooking. Let me pull it up here. Hold on. Let's see, I got. So Dana White, right? And I'm gonna pull this up with y'all. Dana White, he not only got on Oscar De La Hoya ass, right? He ethered Oscar De La Hoya, right? At the same time, he exposed boxing too. And you know what I'm saying? I don't really too much care for Dana White like that. I'm gonna keep it real. But when he said what he said, he kept it all the way true. And he right. And somebody need to say this shit. And I'm not saying somebody like us. I'm saying somebody on Dana White's stature need to say this shit about boxing, and they need to continue to saying it about boxing. Because this is exactly what Dana White has said. This is exactly what I was trying to tell people a couple shows ago. I was actually talking about it. How I was telling people that when they put on these pay-per-views for these, big high-class profile dudes, yeah, the big dudes is getting paid, but a lot of them dudes is eating crumbs, so they depend on that shit. They depending on that money. I've been in the gym with dudes that's, get excited. Like they'll fly across the US, right? And they excited because they got an undercard fight, and they might be making $3,000. You know what I'm saying? So these dudes, that's what type of payday a lot of these dudes is getting. So when you got Tyson Fury and these other cats that's faking COVID, they're not affecting themselves because they're getting paid. They're affecting the people on the undercard and them other dudes that's eating crumbs down there. So in these promoters, they spending all the bread on the fighters, the top name fighters. You know what I'm saying? When they put on these cards, that's why they can afford to pay the top name fighters so much, and then the other ones they making crumbs. This is what Dana White had to say, and he exposed Oscar De La Hoya too. He exposed De La Hoya ass, and let's just listen to what he had to say.
Like boxing doesn't run a real
Hold
business.
on.
Next question is for before the business, what these guys do.
Hold on, let me go to it. Hold on.
At the end of the day, I've said this a million times. We run a real business, unlike boxing. Boxing doesn't run a real business. What these guys do is every event is a going out of business sale. They're trying to get as much money as they can in the door. The two guys at the top of the card make all the money. And how many fights a year are they doing? 1, 3, 5? I'm doing 52 to 53 events a year. So one of the other things we do and why we run real business is we reinvest in the sport. Not just the business of the UFC, but we reinvest in the sport. And we built a global business over the last 20 years. But at the end of the day, I've said, where I'm going with this is this asshole, every time he opens his mouth, acts like, number one, oh, you're not paying your fighters. Why are the fighters not being paid? And he acts like when he put on an event, like he pays more than we do or something.
Now listen to this.
You pay fucking Canelo a shitload of money, whom you couldn't even hold on to. You couldn't even keep. He fucking left you too, right? How about I have 650 fighters under contract. He had fucking one that mattered. He couldn't keep them. Does he still have Ryan Garcia? Yeah? All right, good for him. That'll be another 2 weeks before he fucking loses that kid. Where I'm going with this is this asshole.
Hold on, he ain't even done yet. He ain't even done yet.
I could have brought 30 of these, okay? I brought one because it's June 9th, 2021, okay? This was a fight that just happened in June. It's a Golden Boy Promotions fight that this dickhead put on, okay? There were 9 fights, 18 fighters. The total purses paid for every fight was $36,500 total. The average purse per fighter is $2,000 on a Golden Boy De La Hoya card. Let me start again. He's concerned about Oleksandr Volkanovski, okay? Before we pay $1 in fucking purse money, right? Volkanovski got paid more to wear his UFC Venom kit than Oscar De La Hoya paid the entire fucking fight card. I could have brought 30 of these.
Now, everybody always want to talk about how much money these boxers are getting paid. Most of these dudes ain't getting paid like that. Only the top ones, right? And then the way that boxing is ran, salute the Jab Jamboree. Salute Cassandra Mason in the building, the queen in the building. Salute to Cassandra. So, you know, we see the ones that we see in our face. Yeah, something like, you know, like the big names. The rest of them dudes ain't making that type of money, right? And now the way that boxing is ran, back in the day, you know, if you up and coming and, you know, you still young, you might be fighting. When you start your career, some of these dudes fighting, they used to be fighting 10 times a year. But see, that add up, they getting paid. You know what I'm saying? Some of them will fight 8 times a year, whatever, something like that, right? Then then they build up a little bit more, they still fight 5 and 6 times a year. You know what I'm saying? Then they get real big, they still fighting 4 times a year at least when they got real big. Now these dudes, they lucky if they fight more than twice a year. They real lucky if they fight more than twice a year. So they fighting few and far between. So, I mean, that shit don't add up. It ain't adding up. You know what I'm saying? They lucky if they get more than 2 paychecks per year. And these dudes ain't getting no endorsements like that. So, you know, when Dana White, he got his fighters fighting what? Them dudes is fighting all the time. And he just, and he showed, right, why Oscar De La Hoya's promotional company is almost at the bottom of the barrel now. He showed why the promotional company failed. So De La Hoya always talking about what he paying. He just exposed him. What he say? He had 9 fights on the card, 18 fighters, and the total purse was 34,000? Come on. And where I'm going with this is, right, we get these promoters in boxing. They don't do that shit in the UFC. We get these promoters that try to lie and tell everybody, oh, we're going to marinate these fights. We're going to marinate this fight. The fight needs to be bigger and bigger. For what? What is you like? You never going to get the Floyd Mayweather pay-per-view buys. That shit is over. So what are you marinating? Because they acting like it's not different talent coming through the door all of the time. It's different talent in boxing coming through the door all of the time. But they want to pretend like we're not gonna make that, we're not making this fight and this fight and this fight and this fight because we're marinating it. The fuck are y'all marinating? I don't understand. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao and Floyd, that shit made sense because you still had pay-per-view was in big demand. Boxing ain't even hitting like that no more. So what the fuck are you marinating? That's what I don't understand. It's talent coming through the door all the time. Just check it out, right? You got Teofimo Lopez about to move to 140. You got a motherfucker that's more talented than him probably and can whoop all of them. And most people don't even know who the fuck he is. And he out there, right? Already ready for a shine. And I'm talking about Gary Antoine Russell. So it's always evolving talent. Why you marinate fights? Why don't you do like the UFC? Let these fights happen instead of putting your money, right? Putting your money into one fighter, because that's what most of these promoters do. They'll put all their money into one or two fighters and then let the rest of the motherfuckers starve, right? Saying that they trying to marinate a fight between him and him over there. Like it's not talent coming through boxing all of the time. I don't understand that shit. Look, UFC, they ain't marinating shit. They like, hey, you're going to climb up the top and all of the best are going to fight all of the best. That's why we don't see no $1 million pay-per-views. That shit don't exist for boxing no more, but that's why they, right, the UFC seeing those type of pay-per-view numbers. They selling out stadiums every time they put a UFC event on. Yeah, boxing doing it every now and then, every blue moon, but that shit is few and far between. And we know who those very few fighters are. But yeah, so, you know, he exposed boxing. And when you look deep into it, like he just basically, you know, I listened to everything. I dug deep into everything that he's saying, you know, and then seeing how the UFC run their business, because boxing like to make the fans think that, oh yeah, you know, they do need to marinate that fight much longer. They do but why shouldn't we be thinking like, hey, fuck marinate, put them in there. Put them in there. And if you ran your business more like that, like I said, it's always revolving talent. It's always talent coming through boxing, right? And if you thought like that and you ran your company like that, boxing, shit would have never fell apart like it's falling apart. And, you know, let the UFC come and damn near almost run them out the door. UFC was never supposed to be bigger than boxing. How? How is something that's been around since the 1800s, been doing big business since the early 1900s, right? Gonna let another company that just started, that just came in the 90s and fucking blow them out the water? And you telling me that y'all marinating fights? Like it's not young talent sitting in the background that got more talent than the ones that you got out. Come on now. That's why when Don King was running shit, that's why boxing was on top, because he didn't marinate fights. Okay, I think he the best. This is my fighter right here. Okay, go ahead. You got to fight everybody. You fuck around and lose, then, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to have him, the dude that beat you, he going to come over here with me too. But now we marinating fights today. Fans are paying to see, you know what I'm saying, them. We paying for a dream. That's all we doing. Well, I'll buy this fight and watch that. And we all guilty of it, including myself. Well, I'll buy this fight and watch that because I know next fight he finna do this. And then it's the next fight and the next fight. All they doing is building the fucking story, right? A never-ending story that ain't gonna fucking never end, right? And they gonna continue to do this shit in boxing, right? That's what I want to know. Like, why do they pretend like every big fight that we want or something? Oh, well, they marinated or need to. Come on, that shit ain't. Come on, that shit worked one time with Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. We don't have no more Floyd Mayweathers and Manny Pacquiao. And speaking of Manny Pacquiao, salute to Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao gave us a great career. And I'm going to let y'all know something right now. The Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, that type of era, them dudes, because I don't give a fuck what you say about Floyd. He fought them all, right? He fought them all. And the ones he didn't fight, when he was on his shit, when he was in his prime, they didn't want to fight him. That's the only reason he didn't fight him. Manny Pacquiao, he fought them all. And see, this is the thing. I think in the moment, watching, you know what I'm saying? We do that with everything. Watching things play out in front of our face in the moment, we don't really appreciate it until it's gone. Now, Manny Pacquiao's retired. And as boxing fans, we got to understand, we probably will never see nothing like that again. We'll never see that again. We'll never see a Manny Pacquiao again, ever. We'll never see a Floyd Mayweather. And, you know, I don't think that we fully appreciate that while we in the moment watching them. But now I thought about that shit, you know. When I seen that Manny Pacquiao had retired, it made me really think like, damn, that shit is like, you know what I'm saying? He was the last of a not dying breed. The breed is already dead. You know what I'm saying? And he was the last of it. He was the last of it. And it's not all on the boxers, right? Because we got fighters, right? If they could, they would. We got fight, and they got the talent to, like Deontay Wilder. If he could have a career like Manny Pacquiao, oh yeah, he's more than capable of, you know, well, I'm not gonna say like, and I'm not talking about moving up and down the weight classes. I'm talking about just fighting the best after the best, right? We got Errol Spence. He's shown that he's more than willing and capable of doing it, right? But we'll never, it don't matter how good they are. We'll never see that shit again because of how boxing is ran. This shit's turning more, I don't want to call it a circus show, but I mean, y'all can call it what you want. You know exactly what I'm saying. It's, it ain't, we'll never get, it'll never be like that again. The world is changing, boxing's changing, and the way that these fighters are brought up in their mentality is different now. Like I said, it's a very few that still have that type of mentality, but 98% of these dudes, you know what I'm saying, they don't. The rest, the 2%, you know, it's only 2%. So the boxing has changed. We'll never see a Manny Pacquiao. We'll never see that again. These dudes, these fighters ain't even built like that. They mind don't even begin to fathom what Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and Roy Jones and them guys, you know what I'm saying, had in them to become great like that. Because boxing, when you look at boxing, it's not like that no more. These dudes is on some whole other shit. These fighters nowadays, they on some whole other shit. And they'll tell you, well, they know way more about their business and this, and that. Don't believe that fucking lie. Because all of them, it's only a very few, right, that are getting paid like that. Very few. And the reason why you see some of these dudes that can't even really sell pay-per-views on pay-per-views, and you know what I'm saying, but you only seeing them once or twice a year because they trying to sell to you, well, they making this, and that. Well, some of them dudes in the 90s, they was fighting 4 times a year, and they were making $30 million a fight, doing it 4 times a year. They wasn't doing it 1 time a year, so add that up. You know, boxing is just think it's ran wrong and it's getting worse. That's, you know, that's really basically what I can say about that shit. It's ran wrong and it's getting worse. And ever since this COVID, this pandemic, it exposed a lot of shit that they was trying to hide in boxing. Now it's out in the open and you can't deny it. You dig what I'm saying? J.A. Dixon, salute. John Kramer, what's happening with it? Rico W, what's happening with it? Salute. And for everybody in the building, smash on my like button because, you know, they not sending out my notifications. So the best thing that y'all can do, they only sending out my notifications to a very few people. So the best thing that y'all could do is smash on my like button. Make sure you get them likes up. Hit the like button. J.A. Dixon says, all these boys get some shine and some bread and stop training and start partying for the most part. Yeah. But you know why, J.A. Dixon? A lot of that has to do with you are young, right? I know how I was, you know what I'm saying, young in my 20s, right? You young in your 20s. You give them a little bit of money, right? You give them a little bit of money, right? A little bit of money. You get him $10,000. That's a lot of money to some of these dudes. Dang, you know what I'm saying? Some of these dudes, they get $3,000, and that's a lot of money to them, depending on, you know what I'm saying, who they are. But you give them a little bit of money, right? And then they waiting around. Next thing you know, 7 months didn't pass since they last fight. The fuck you think a 20-something-year-old gonna do with all of that time on their hand? 8 months didn't pass. 9 months didn't pass. Now they finally getting the call for a fight. That's how boxing wasn't like that. These dudes was fighting a lot of times per year. But see, the fans respected it. They watched it more, and they showed up to the fights a lot more than they do now. Because they kept it, because it's they stayed in our face. We knew them. They stayed in our face. Yeah, talking back and forth on social media is cool. You know, whatever you want to do. It gets you intrigued about the situation, but ain't none of this shit happening. It's like, when do you look at the situation and you say, look, damn, I'm sick of all this social media shit. Ain't none of this shit happening. These fighters, they ain't built like that nowadays. Like I said, it's only 2% of them. And that's very few and far between. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about the situation. You know, fans don't think the same nowadays neither. Fans is more worried about how much a motherfucker getting paid and how many IG followers that person got, so they can give you a fucking argument and tell you who deserves what and you know what I'm saying, all that dumbass shit. And these fighters, they adapted the mentality of most of the fans, and you know what I'm saying, the promoters, they playing to that. Like I said, boxing will never, ever, as long as these fighters' mindsets are like they are thinking now, the way they built now, as long as they built like that, as long as the promoters are running the sport like they run the sport, and everything else surrounding boxing that's going on, they'll never be nowhere near the UFC. Like Dana White said that Oscar De La Hoya, when he looked up the numbers and what Oscar De La Hoya was doing, he said every motherfucking event that he throw is a going out of business sale. Hey, the rest of them ain't far behind him. The rest of these motherfuckers ain't far behind him. Look around. The rest of these promoters ain't too far behind them because of how boxing is ran. You know. J.A. Dixon says, I feel you on that. He said he got like a $30K bonus while he was stationed in Hawaii at 22 and showed my ass. Yeah, I mean, you got time on your hand and a little bit of money and you that young. What else is you gonna do? John Page say, big what's happening? What's happening with it, Batman? What's good with it? Big Texas ATS Cleveland Smith, what's happening with it? And y'all hit my like button. Smash on my like button, because you know YouTube be on some funny business. Funny business. But yeah, so boxing is, man. But yeah, so y'all better think about that shit. We never gonna see no Floyd Mayweathers and Manny Pacquiao's. How we ever gonna see that again? How we ever gonna see that again? When you got dudes that ain't even fucking got their goddamn ankles wet. They barely getting their ankles wet in the boxing game, right? You got dudes like Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, all of the just, you know what I'm saying? Even Errol Spence and a lot of they ain't, come on. We can't compare these dudes to the Sugar Ray Leonards. These, man, come on. These dudes they get 22, 25 fights. Now all of a sudden they only fighting once a year, twice a year if we lucky now. Come on. Oh, look at how them dudes is getting smoked in the 90s and the ever since boxing started all the way up to like the mid 2000s. Look how them dudes was getting smoked. These dudes ain't fighting like that. You know what I'm saying? How can you even build a Floyd Mayweather or another Manny Pacquiao? That shit is, so them telling us that they marinating these fights and they building super, that's some bullshit. It's impossible to build a superstar like a Mike Tyson, a Manny Pacquiao, a Floyd Mayweather, anybody else, right? That was a great. It's impossible to build a fighter on that status when we only seeing them once or twice a year at the most. How? You can't put none of these dudes in my face and tell me that, oh, this gonna be the next Floyd Mayweather. This gonna be the next Sugar Ray Leonard. They're not even giving them the opportunity to be that. Now, so when I'm saying what I'm saying, I'm not shitting on none of these great fighters, right? I'm saying that these promoters, these promotional companies, these advisors, whatever the fuck you want to call them, right? They lying to us, trying to make us believe this shit, but it's a fucking it's a never-ending story. It's a dream that ain't never gonna happen. It's impossible. They don't even let them fight enough. They don't fight enough. You know? Somebody tell me how I want some, and I'm being serious. Somebody in here, right? And smash on my like button. Smash on the like button. If you can't do nothing else, smash on my like button, right? Somebody tell me, how can you build the next Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, right? Or any of these great fighters when they only fight twice a year. We only seeing them, and that's at the most. That's at the most. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times it's only once a year. So, and I'm even go further than that. I'm going to go back to something that I said earlier. They only getting 1 or 2 fights a year. So how much time do you think that they have on their hands to fuck up? How much time you think they got on their hands to fuck up when you sitting around for motherfucking 6, 7, 8, 9 months and you ain't doing nothing? Oh, you can't build a Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather. You telling me this dude got 25 fights, 20, and I'm not talking about nobody specific, but I'm just saying, right? You telling me this dude got 25 fights and y'all comparing him, oh, he might be the next Mayweather. He might. So you mean that he gonna be boxing for the next fucking 40 years? He might be the next. We might got the next Manny Pacquiao. Nothing. Come on, they ain't built like that no more. This shit's dead. This shit is dead. You know what I'm saying? It's dead. It ain't never gonna be like that. And we gotta be truthful to ourselves. That shit ain't never gonna be like that. It's dead. So when Dana White say what he say, hey, he be on point. No matter how you feel about him, when I go and watch the UFC, even though I don't have the love for the UFC like I do for boxing, when I go watch the UFC, it's different. When you watch boxing, you see it's declining slowly and slowly to this bitch hit rock bottom, right? But the UFC, when I look at that, I see that shit's gaining and gaining, it's rising and it's getting better and better. But see, they were smart because they realized the UFC, Dana White, he realized we don't have to marinate talent. We don't have to tell the fans that we marinate talent because it's always new talent coming up. It's a revolving door. It's always new talent. Same shit with boxing. They just don't utilize it. They stick to a certain small group of men and then blackball the rest of them out. Come on. Let me see. Hanky Stanky, salute. Knockout say they will keep doing this to us as long as the fanboy ass fans keep protecting these fighters with these race-driven agendas. And you 150% correct, Knockout. And that's like I said, the fans, we part of the problem. Fans is part of the problem. But all fans ain't built the same. So if you different, you know who you are. And you know what I'm saying? If you different, you know who you are. All fans ain't built the same. But the ones that's, been advocates of all the fuck shit, you part of the problem. J.A. Dixon says, I don't even want to go to the Shakur versus Heron fight because I don't know if they're going to fight or not. He says he don't know if they're going to fight or not. He says, I was at UFC 236 and that shit was epic. Tell him, J.A., like when you looking at the UFC, even if you're looking at if you're looking on TV, you in the building, you see something different. You like, damn, it's kind of like this shit is just the beginning. Boxing ain't gonna never catch up, bro, because they not trying to catch up. They stuck with the same fucking I don't know, some bullshit. They not trying to catch up. Everybody saw that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather shit, right? And now I don't even know if that was good for boxing. It was good for Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather in their pockets. Cool, I ain't gonna never hate on that, right? But at the end of the day, was that fight even good for boxing? Because they saw that shit and they've been chasing that fucking high. Ever since then, boxing has been chasing that fucking high. They saw Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather be able to fucking marinate and hold that shit off for like 6 years and then finally come together and that shit exploded. It made money that we've never seen in a combat sport ever, but we'll never see it again. Never see that shit again, right? So boxing, they fucked up. The sport was already on the downslide for shit that was happening, but they fucked it up even more. They fucked that shit even more up, right? Because all these promoters, they started trying to chase that fucking high. Instead of just realizing, man, fighters, it's talent coming in boxing all the time. Put him in there. If he ain't what you thought he was, well, you got this next motherfucker you got this next fighter, my bad. You got this next young fighter that's sitting at the door waiting for you to open the door. Bring him in. It's always revolving talent. They fucked it up. They fucked it up. And they fucked up their bag, right? Don't think these promoters they just getting all this money neither. Because in the process, they fucked up the game of boxing and they fucked up their bag also. They ain't getting that bag like they was these promoters at one point in time, right? Their business was wrong. They did business wrong. Now they really do have to cling on to one fighter. Let me see. Lewis Hinton in the building. Let me see. Knockout Boxing 86 say, I don't even know. I'm getting these comments hella late. Hold up, my bad. Let me pull in my phone and look at the comment. Knockout says, DP Rocker, what's happening with it? Salute. Knockout say, when you see a UFC title fight. He says, you watching the best two fighters in the division fight each other. He says, boxing be having one-sided ass title fights, Joshua Pulev, Canelo Yildirim, etc. You real talk, bro. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, what you call them, fanboys, you know what I'm saying? These motherfucking fanatics, they're probably the problem. They're the problem because in boxing, well, they're going to make an excuse for every fighter. For if it's a fighter they like, they're going to make an excuse. The UFC, if you put John Jones in there with a fucking goddamn Rudy Poop that just came from working at Denny's and train, you know what I'm saying? Train maybe 2 hours a day. You put John Jones in there with him in the main event. You think the UFC fans gonna tear that bitch apart? They're not even gonna support it. They don't care who it, you know what I'm saying, who the main event fighter is. Because they set that standard. You can't do that shit. You're not gonna be able to pull that shit off with no UFC fans. Because UFC set that bar high and they set the standard. But see, they won with setting that standard because people appreciate the standard that they set. Boxing, they accept anything. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, we just told everybody that Triple G the best fighter in the world and Triple G the best thing since Sugar Ray Robinson. Triple G even better than Marvelous Marvin Hagler. You know what I'm saying? Triple G is the best middleweight of all time. And then they fucking put Triple G in the ring with goddamn dinner rolls. And Dominique Wades. And you know what I'm saying? All them dudes. And people that like Triple G, they buy it. And I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't just trying to pick on Triple G because I'm saying that shit goes on throughout boxing. But, some of y'all gonna feel me and some of y'all ain't. But it is what it is. And then the ones that do have that old school dog eat dog mentality in boxing, they don't get no respect. They wandering around, you know what I'm saying, searching for a fight. You know what I'm saying? They wandering around searching for a fight. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. So, Claressa Shields, right? Claressa Shields, the GWOAT. And y'all hit my like button. Y'all smash on the like button. The GWOAT, Claressa Shields, she came straight out and she said that she'll whoop Jake Paul. Dripping sauce salute. Claressa Shields said that she'll whoop Jake Paul. And I'm going to let y'all hear what Claressa Shields, exactly what she had to say. And then we're going to cook on what Claressa Shields had to say. Hold on. And she checked this reporter. She checked this reporter like, hey, don't ever disrespect me like that. Hey, that's that Flint Town. That's that Flint Town for real. Hold on, let me I'm gonna play it right now.
Next question is for Claressa. Amanda Serrano got on a Jake Paul card, which was on Showtime. A lot of people watched that. Do you ever want to be on a Jake Paul card as well and maybe get that grand stage as she got?
Don't ever disrespect me. I would never fight on the undercard of Jake Paul. I'm a 3-time division world champion, 2-time Olympic gold medalist in boxing. I would never fight on the undercard of Jake Paul. Before I get on the undercard of a guy that's having a circus show, no disrespect to Tyron Woodley, no disrespect to Jake Paul, but I'm a real boxer. Like, I can beat up Jake Paul at the weight class I'm at right now. So no, I would never fight on the undercard of somebody who does not possess the skills or the accomplishment that I have.
Hey, she checked the dog shit out that reporter. Anthony Johnson, salute. Nunu, salute. She checked the dog shit out that reporter. She said, don't fucking disrespect me now, right? You got your certain people that already hate Claressa Shields. They're gonna, look at it as, oh, she's just rude and she's just nasty and this and that. But when you look at the situation, right? She letting them know right off the rip, right? What I've accomplished, who I am, and you being disrespecting me. You being disrespectful asking me that. You see what I'm saying? She letting them know right off the rip that she's not getting the respect that she deserves. All that she's accomplished, right? She like, and this is going back to how fucked up boxing is. You asking her about being on a Jake Paul undercard. Now, I know a lot of people didn't really take time. They just heard what Claressa Shields said. Sal Hamilton, what's happening with it? Rolling Red, what's good? PLG Ski, what's happening with it? Kendall Bivens, what's good with it? I know a lot of people didn't really let that shit sink in to what, you know what I'm saying, she was asked and what she was really saying. Boxing, look at boxing. You asking her, with all of her accomplishments, will she fight on the Jake Paul undercard? That's like going, right? That's like going, right? And you ain't never flew a plane before. You went to school to learn you went to flight school, right? You ain't never flew a plane before, right? And you go into this cockpit and you tell this pilot that's been flying for 30-something years, you know what? Excuse me, you're gonna have to move over because yeah, we're gonna have him fly. We're gonna have him fly now. But he ain't never flown before. Like, he just got out of school. Like, he just got out of training. Now you telling me I gotta move over and he taking my spot? That's basically what this is. It ain't about talent no more. It ain't about real boxing. And so she's telling y'all, how the fuck are y'all gonna ask me? Well, I like, money ain't all that to me. She telling y'all, like, y'all, you know what I'm saying? I want my respect and my dignity before anything. And see, people ain't looking at it like that. You gotta respect the shit that she's saying, because I had to think about it myself. She's letting you know I stand for more than that. I never fight on the fucking undercard of this man that ain't put in none of the blood, sweat, and tears, ain't did shit. I ain't been through nothing I've been through to get to where I'm at. Y'all gonna respect me, because if I go out there and I fight on a Jake Paul undercard after everything I've accomplished, well, that's showing everybody that I'll fall for anything. How am I ever gonna get respect? Right? I'm out here advocating for women's boxing, saying that women should get paid more. Women should, you know what I'm saying, be looked at the same as men do. But soon as you know what I'm saying, somebody come on the scene that's able to offer me a lot of money, you think I'm supposed to fucking, you know what I'm saying, just bow down to him? He letting you know I'll never do that. I mean, she's letting you know I will never do that. I put in too much work. And to me, it's a lot more, because it's showing me, right? It's showing me that when she's advocating for women's boxing and all the work that she's put in, it's showing me that she's standing on her square. She's not just talking it. She being about that shit. She's not just talking it. She's being about it. Because if it was just all about the money, she would have been like, you know what? Yeah, you know, have Jake Paul reach out to me, because a lot of these fighters have Jake Paul reach out to me. But not if you're on Claressa Shields level. How can she have accomplished everything that she's accomplished? And it shows that she's looked over, right? That they overlooking her. Why are they even asking her that? She felt disrespected, and as she should feel disrespected. You asking me about being on a Jake Paul undercard? I didn't won Olympic gold medals for this country. I didn't won more belts than I can count. Nobody was talking about women's boxing until I came into it. It ain't where I want it to be, but it's way more talked about now, right, than it was before I stepped on the scene. And you asking me to be on the Jake Paul. So I felt what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? I felt that how she was disrespected. But a lot of people gonna look at it differently. You know, a lot of people gonna look at it like, oh, she's nasty and she, you know, this, and that. But she's standing on her square. She's telling y'all she not finna like Omega. Yeah, Omega. She's telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? Her pride and her principle and her morals, right? You can't buy that with money. You can't buy that with money. Most of y'all never get that. And I'm not talking about nobody here. I'm just saying most people would never understand that. They'll never get that. So yeah, she could have said, yeah, you know. But she's showing you that she's not finna fucking fall for nothing. She's not finna just fall for anything. You're gonna have to knock her off her square. She ain't finna fall for that shit. If a lot of these men fighters was as strong as she is, you know, mentally, maybe they would have accomplished what she's been able to accomplish in the short amount of time. So, you know, I feel that we got to give her respect for standing on her square and for feeling like she had every right to feel like she felt. You ain't gonna be at your job for 25 years unless somebody come in your job straight out of training, right? And skip over you. Come on. Why? Let me read some of these comments. And y'all smash on my like button. Smash on the like button if you haven't smashed the like button. Smash on my like button. Kate Man 785 says Jake Paul signed Amanda Serrano, calling her the GOAT and shit. He says now Amanda running with it. I didn't even know that. I ain't, you know, I haven't seen that. And like I said, I don't have no problem with Amanda Serrano doing what she did. I mean, you know, cool. You know, Jake Paul looked out for her. He looked out for her. But with Claressa Shields, I think it's a different situation. Knockout said Jake Paul would be trying to grab her the way Logan Paul was trying to grab Floyd Mayweather. And we're gonna get into that, man, because she said more, you know, we're gonna get into what else she said in we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. PLG Ski says real queen shit. Facts. What else I missed? Hold on. J.A. Dixon says, I guess it depends on what you prioritize, but I feel what she's saying. But the reality is that mindset will keep her where she is because them people who are in charge don't give a damn. The show won't stop. Women's boxing needs her. You dig what I'm saying? So if she fold, it takes somebody to be like her to change shit. You can say they don't give a damn, but women's boxing needs her. She's in a more powerful position than y'all understand. Then probably she understand. She probably don't even understand it fully, right? But now that her going to MMA, we know that she understands because she's building her profile higher and higher. What the fuck is women boxing without Claressa Shields? She's putting boxing on the map on other platforms. She didn't went over to mixed martial arts and she's still ain't none of them other women doing that. So she means more to women boxing than y'all actually think. Ain't nobody talking about women's boxing. They can't just, oh, well, it's a revolving door. It's the next. No, it ain't no fucking next in women's boxing. Without Claressa Shields, nobody's talking about women boxing like that. You could talk about the Katie Taylors and the rest of these women all you want to. Nobody was talking about none of them until Claressa Shields hit the mat. And that's the truth. So yeah, she mean more than what y'all think. And it's not in J.A. Dixon, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And with her talent, the talent that she has, she knows that. Ain't no sprint with her, it's a marathon. And it takes time to really change shit around. It takes time, and it takes somebody that has the mental capacity that she does. And that really believe in herself and really believe in what she's saying. Shit ain't gonna happen overnight. But if she fold just like that, it'll never happen. J.A. Dixon, like I said, you speaking of right now. In order for shit to change, you need somebody like her. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Dig what I'm saying? It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. If she fold, right? Well, who else gonna come in and stand on the square? Who else is gonna change shit? She needs to stick to exactly what she's doing and continue to build. But yeah, now Daryl Deloach, what's happening with it? Now, let's get into the rest of what she said. Now, she also said that she will whoop Jake Paul. She said she'll whoop Jake Paul. Now, yeah, that's, and I had to think about that one, right? I had to really think about that one. She said she'll whoop Jake Paul. Now, at the end of the day, Jake Paul is still a man. Jake Paul is still a man at the end of the day, right? And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I want y'all to give me how y'all feel about her saying that she will whoop Jake Paul. Because honestly, I want to hear what y'all got to say about her saying that she can whoop Jake Paul. Do y'all think that she can actually get in there and whoop Jake Paul? I'm going to open up the phone lines, and tell me how y'all feel about it. Tell me how y'all feel about it. The phone lines are now open. Can Claressa Shields, do y'all believe her when she say that she could whoop Jake Paul, or do you think that she, she getting out of line? Do you think that she, getting a little bit too far out there, that Jake Paul is still a 220 plus pound man? Jake Paul, he ain't no punk. He showed that he can fight. Or do you think, hey, yeah, she'll whoop Jake Paul. She got the skills, like she'll whoop Jake Paul. So, like I said, the phone lines is open. And let me know what y'all think about that. Call in, let me know how y'all feel about Claressa Shields saying that she'll whoop Jake Paul. Mr. Rez J. Mr. Rez J2 off in the building. What's happening with it? Man, what happened to Anthony Joshua? Man, you said that Anthony Joshua was the best thing in the heavyweight division for years and years. You've been talking about Anthony Joshua, this and that. And I like Anthony Joshua. But you got to explain to me what happened to Anthony Joshua. But anyway, y'all call in. Hold on. My bad. I think I missed the call. I missed some calls. Y'all call back in. Callers, call back in. My bad. The call didn't go through for some reason. So, and like I said, the question is, how do y'all feel about Claressa Shields saying that she'll beat Jake Paul? Call in, let me know. Sheena say that she believed that Claressa Shields believes she can beat Sheena said, yes, I believe that Claressa Shields believes that she could beat Jake Paul. Yeah, that was slick. That was slick, Sheena. I like that one. Hey, I don't know what the hell wrong with the phone. It ain't. Yeah, call back in. For some reason, it ain't go through. Again, here we go. What's happening with it? Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Key? This Nick Silvio, man.
What's happening with you?
What's up, man? I'm calling for Flint, man.
I already know. Flint Town in the building.
Man, Flint Town, stand up, man. You know, Claressa from right here where I'm from, man, and I love her as a fighter, man. But like you say, man, Jake Paul is still a man. And I ain't trying to knock her, not saying she ain't got no power, but I mean, just think about it. She ain't even knocked out no woman, you know, in her own little, you know what I mean, in her division that she fought in or whatever. You know, it kind of would be a different thing if she was knocking out women. You might could say, okay, you know, whatever. But I just don't think some of them shots my man might hit her with, I don't know how she'll stand up to him, man. I like to say, I think she should stay in her lane and just be great, man. I ain't taking nothing from her. Like I say, she from right up the block. But, you know, real is real. Spade is a spade, man.
Right.
You know.
Right. Already, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. I feel what you said.
Oh, yeah. One love, Keith. I'm on here.
One love. Salute. All right, bet. Caller, you know what I'm saying? Call back in. Phone lines is open. If I missed your call back in. Call back in. And I'm going to give my take on this, but I want to hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give my take on the whole situation. I want to hear y'all before I do give my take on this situation. So, like I said, call back in. Do y'all think that Claressa Shields could actually whoop Jake Paul? Or do y'all think she getting, you know what I'm saying, a little bit too ahead of herself? I'm saying phone lines is open. Sometimes some of these calls ain't going through, so you just gotta, you know what I'm saying, continue to call. But let me see. Jay Cooley said, who the hell say Claressa could be the man? Cassandra Mason say she agree with the caller. Yeah, and he from right there in Flint Town, you know. Mr. Red J, he said Anthony Joshua Chin happened. Man. Roland Red says, I think it's stupid to diss Jake Paul, but fighters still fight Canelo knowing he a drug cheat. I don't have no problem with Jake Paul at all. I like Jake Paul. Caller, what's happening with it? What's your name? Where you calling from?
What up, Keith? It's Anthony Johnson from Pasadena, California.
What's happening with you? What's good with it?
Hey, I'm good, man. I like Claressa, but I don't think she could beat Jake Paul in a fight, though.
How you feel about her, you know, saying what she said and, you know, basically challenging the man?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think, you know, I think she can beat most women, but I don't think challenging a man, I don't think she can beat Jake Paul. Maybe an average man on the street that never trained before, but somebody that's been training with a little experience, nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, man. I feel you on that, man. I appreciate you calling in too. Oh shit. Yeah, but appreciate you calling in. I don't know what happened. The call ended. But my man BFTB boxing off in the building. What's good with it? BFTB off in the building. Salute to BFTB. And y'all make sure, I know y'all gotta already be subbed to BFTB, but if you ain't subbed to BFTB Boxing, make sure that you go sub to BFTB Boxing. And he killing these fools out here. Every day he catching body bag after body bag after body bag. Sheena say, I don't like Jake Paul. He full of it. And he and his brother, sorry, not sorry. Hey, yeah, I ain't got no problem with Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And he can fight a little bit. Now, like I said, everything that Claressa said, right? Everything that Claressa said was all the way on point. Like I said, I broke it down for y'all, and I felt her. And I felt her feeling the way that she felt for being asked a question like that with everything that she done in boxing, right? Now, when she said that she'll whoop Jake Paul, and I was like, see, Claressa she liked that though. Claressa came on my show a couple years ago. I had her on. And, you know, one of the things that she was saying at that point in time is that she could beat Keith Thurman ass. And I think that she said she'll beat Triple G, right? And I was like, Claressa, them as grown men, like, they really hit like that. You know what I'm saying? They really like, do you feel that you could take a punch in the chin from Triple G or Keith Thurman? And she was dead serious, like, man, Keith Thurman, he too little. I'll fuck you know what I'm saying? I'll move his little ass around. You know what I'm saying? She was really believing that shit. Now, I love the confidence. I love the confidence that she has in her ability, because that confidence that she has lets me know that she's not going to let no other woman whoop her. If she has the confidence to think that she can beat these world-class fighters and they men, well, that let me know she ain't going to never let no another woman beat her. Her mindset is different, right? She think like a superhero, because real talk, she ain't whooping no Jake Paul. Like, let's keep it 100. I love Claressa Shields, but she's not whooping Jake Paul. That man, you know what I'm saying, walking around at 220 pounds probably. She's not whooping no Jake Paul. J.A. Dixon said he's 6 foot, 200 pounds and can punch. And that's after he cut weight. You know what I'm saying? He probably can easily walk around at 220. Jake Paul is not a small guy. He a big frame dude. Now, and like my man said on the phone, like I said, I love Claressa. I love the queen, but come on, Claressa, you're not knocking out these women fighters. What can you do to Jake Paul to keep him up off of you? Let's just keep it 100. He is still a man. He still has man strength. And it ain't like it's some, you know, just a man getting up off the couch, coming up. Like, he has some boxing skills. He can fight. He ain't no just any man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but see, I think that's where women need to chill out on all that. You know what I'm saying? I can whoop a man. And that's just, if you a woman athlete and a man athlete, keep it like that. Don't do all of that. I can whoop a man, and because that's like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you going too far, because you know what I'm saying? I don't like, yeah, nah. That ain't, like, to me, that's not cool, because they never finna put a man in there with a woman. And then if they did put Claressa Shields in there with a woman, I mean, with a Jake Paul, if they did do that shit, right? And she fucked around and got hurt. Now, what Jake Paul or whoever it is, what they gonna look like? Like, let's just keep it real. What they gonna look like? BFTB say, fuck it, let's see it. Nah, we don't want to see that. BFTB, he a grave digger for real. He ain't giving a fuck. He said, anybody can get it with me. He said, so I'm guessing she feel the same way. But see, that's the thing. Like I said, BFTB, they put her in there, and she get hurt from Jake Paul. Then everybody gonna look at Jake Paul like he did wrong. It's gonna be a whole outcry about what happened to this woman. And then he gonna, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get bashed for that shit. You know, you ain't had no business going in there, putting on your hands on that woman and doing that, but it ain't going, you know what I'm saying? It's just not like, so I think it's not possible. If it did happen, you know what I'm saying? Look how Jake Paul is gonna look if she end up getting hurt. So I think that women fighters don't need to be talking about whooping no man. You know what I'm saying? That leave that shit out. Hey, BFTB said, hey, BFTB boxer said, not for me. Hey, man, hey, you a nut. BFTB a whole nut, man. He said, not for me. Oh shit. He said triple diva father, dude. Hey, man. Hey, you crazy as hell. BFTV got me damn near in tears. Yeah, we ain't trying to see that, man. We not trying to see that. So Claressa Shields, man, I don't know. Hey. Oh shit. So you know, my cousin and them, you know, out in Flint, they know Claressa. You know what I'm saying? They all know Claressa like that. And they said Claressa be whooping on they said Claressa did put hands on a few dudes in the street. Like for real. She said Claressa did put hands coming up. They said Claressa was really putting hands on dudes and shit. She said she was quick to jump on the nigga. They said Claressa Shields was quick to jump on the nigga and put hands on the dude. Hey, but you know, this ain't the streets. Jake Paul, he could fight a little bit. That ain't nothing. I'm like, I can't condone that, you know. I can't condone that. Because if Jake, but BFTV say, I seen plenty of dudes get beat up by girls. I had to. I really had to. But you know what I'm saying? Them is just regular dudes. We talking about whatever we want to call Jake Paul. At the end of the day, he is an athlete now. He do train, eat, sleep, shit boxing. Like that's what he does. Now can Jake Paul get in there and beat some? Jake Paul just got done beating Tyron Woodley. Come on now. Real UFC fighter that Tyron Woodley, he was winning his fights off of his stand-up game. He was knocking motherfuckers out in the UFC. So we ain't gonna just act like Tyron Woodley don't know boxing, and then like Tyron Woodley can box a little bit. So yeah, I done seen plenty of women beat the dog shit out of dudes. Real talk, I seen it. Trust me. But like I said, them is just regular everyday type niggas. Them ain't no, you know, trained fighters. Them ain't no trained fighters like that. So we ain't finna condone. I ain't finna condone that shit, bro. Cause if Jake Paul get to coming out talking about I'll beat the dog shit out of Claressa Shields, what's popping? Then he gonna be wrong. This is a lose-lose situation for any man, right? In this type of situation, a man that's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? If Jake Paul come out and say, look, I'll beat the dog shit out of Claressa Shields. You know what I'm saying? I'll beat teeth out her motherfucking mouth. What's popping? Let's have it. Put it together. Tell Claressa Shields to come see me. I'm beating the fuck out of Claressa Shields. Now, what you think? If Jake Paul, right? Since we said if Jake Paul, he come back with some shit like that, it's gonna get real ugly for Jake Paul. It's gonna get real ugly for Jake Paul. So it's a lose. So he can't come and do that. So Claressa Shields, she shouldn't say what she said. She should have just been like, look, don't fucking disrespect me like that. I'm not getting on no motherfucking Jake Paul undercard. Do you know who the fuck I am? And whatever else she was saying. And she should have just left it at that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody else can do what they want to do, but I ain't getting on no fucking Jake Paul undercard. Jake Paul can be on one of my undercards. You know what I'm saying? He could be on one of my undercards, but all that I'll beat the shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll whoop him and nah, come on. Because he can't come and say no shit like that. And if he did, he gonna get crucified. Hey, BFTV, he just wanted to sit back and see the motherfucking reality show. BFTV want to sit back and see the reality show. Jermaine Stats, what's happening with it? Anthony Johnson, what's good with it? BFTV said, I agree with, he said he agreed with me. He said, you said, big bro. He said, but I'm not stopping nobody's desires. He said he agreed with what I'm saying, but he ain't stopping nobody's desires. He said, I'm good. He said he good with it. Anthony Johnson say, she got a puncher's chance with no gloves on. She might, man, but yeah, y'all crazy as hell. Y'all crazy. Hey, BFTV say if Jake do that MMA look at Guo, like he says if Jake do that MMA look at Guo, like what's goody? Yeah. Jermaine Stats say, I remember middle school nigga got whooped by a weird emo girl. Oh, you must be, see, we ain't had no it wasn't no such thing as emo when I was coming up. He said, what the fuck is an emo girl? He said, whooped by a weird emo girl. She had scratched him and was pulling his hair to the water fountain. He said she scratched him up, was pulling his hair to the water fountain. Hey, that's funny. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. When I seen the first time I seen, like I'm saying, like teenage ages, you know what I'm saying? They was at the same age, and this girl beat the dog shit out this nigga. I'm gonna tell y'all the little story right now. Let me read the rest of these comments. Hey, BFTV say he good with however they want to do it. He good with it all. Hey, Sheena said if Jake Paul fight Claressa, he better move to a whole nother planet. That's facts. So I think it was at, you know what? I think it was at my grandfather's funeral, right? It's probably back in like 99. I'm like, I think I like probably back in 99. I'm like 17, 18 at the time, right? Like 17, 18 at the time. Some of my cousins, right? We all at my auntie house, right? So, and we had to get together over there, everybody over there. And my cousins, some of my cousins, they all there, you know what I'm saying? Two of my cousins, one of them was a girl, the other one was a dude, you know, and they got to popping off on each other, you know, they start arguing about some shit. And they the same age, right? They start arguing about some shit. Next thing I know, she just took off on him. Bam! And he fell back on the bed. And she just jumped on him and started beating the dog. And he was trying to fight back. She was putting hands on this nigga. And we all laughing like, oh, shit. I'm talking about that's the first time I seen, right, up close and personal at that age, right? They both teenagers. They both like 16 at the time. They a little younger than me. They both like 16, 15 at the youngest. Hey, she put hands on him. And he was trying to fight back. Hey, she stomped him out. She stomped him out in that room. Stomped his ass out. She stomped him out. You know, when growing up as little kids, I seen, you know, maybe older girls put hands on a younger boy or you know, little kids that, you know what I'm saying, they was at a decent age and she put hands on that nigga. And he was trying to fight back. Didn't go too well for him. So when y'all saying that y'all done seen females put hands on men and dudes, I've been seeing that shit too. I didn't seen it for a long time. And so, you know, after that, I seen plenty of incidents, but that was the first incident where I seen almost grown, you know what I'm saying, an almost grown girl beat up an almost grown dude. But yeah, Jake Paul, he can't fight Claressa Shields. I mean, imagine that shit. Imagine even if he got on Twitter and said, you know what I'm saying, got the popping shit back. Like, man, I'll beat the fuck out of Claressa. What's popping? Come on, what that gonna sound like? He get to trolling Claressa Shields. Everybody gonna be on Jake Paul's head. That's a woman, and why? You know, once you pick on, they gonna be coming up with won't you pick on Errol Spence? Why you ain't trying to? Man, he'll get crucified for that shit. He better keep his mouth shut and act like she ain't never said that shit. Dr. Hooks, Rolling Red said, no cap, that fight will do $1 million plus. Hey, that Jake Paul wouldn't even make it to that fight. Bro, you know how many death threats and all the shit that he would go through if they tried to put that fight on? He wouldn't even make it to the fight. Dr. Hook said Claressa is upset over Serrano getting the big payday. She would have accepted that offer if it came to her first. I can't say that, man. I can't say that. Y'all need to understand, everybody is not built the same. Everybody ain't built the same. You can't say Claressa Shields is built like that. She told you she's standing on her square. She could have easily been like, you know what? I might. You know, if Jake Paul hit me, no, she stood on her square and she let everybody know she not built like that. Batman said, I never seen a woman beat a man that really know how to handle himself. Yeah, he said he ain't never seen a man get beat up by a woman that really know how to handle himself. That's exactly in this Jake Paul situation. Hey, we can say what we want about Jake Paul, but he know how to fight. Right, knockout. Everybody not moved by money like that. Some people, you know what I'm saying, they morals and they principle that they stand on, they gonna stand on that shit. If everybody moved like that, the world would be a lot worse off than it already is. But I understand why you feel that way. I understand why you feel that way because most people move like that. So Dr. Hook, ain't no beef. I understand why you move, why you feel that way, because most people think like that. So it's odd and it's strange when we see people that actually stand on their square and they don't think like that. You see what I'm saying? So, but we got to slow down and we have to realize that Claressa Shields is different. We got to respect that. See, where I come from, we respect shit like that. We don't talk down on shit like that. Stand on your square. Omega Red said, everybody ain't no sellout. Real talk. Butter B said, morals over money any day. It's not and like I keep telling y'all, it is not a race, right? It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You stand on your morals. You keep it 100 with yourself. You're going to get to where you want to go. You're going to get to where you want to go. A few motherfuckers might you know what I'm saying? They might out sprint you and get past you. But that's only temporary. In the long run, who's going to be on the top in the long run? That's what really matters at the end of the day. That's what really matters at the end of the day. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Knockout say, for instance, y'all probably think I'm bullshit, but there isn't an amount of money someone could offer me to make me come on my platform and lie for views. I speak my mind, and he says I rise. He says I speak my mind, and rise or fall on me. Yeah, right. Real talk. He gonna speak his mind, and that's why I fuck with Knockout, right? Because it's very few of us. You know what I'm saying? And y'all know who y'all are. We're going to stand on our square, and we're not going to do bullshit just for lies and views. If we're not going to lie, we're not going to do certain shit just to get views, and, you know, that's why I respect Knockout. That's why I'm like, hey, even if I don't agree with we agree on a lot of this shit, but on some things we don't agree on. But I respect him to the end because I seen he not folding. You know what I'm saying? He not finna come out with no bullshit. He gonna keep it 100 on his show. He gonna keep it 100 when he jump on any platform. I'm the same way. And you gotta respect that shit. Everybody ain't like that. It's only a very few that's like that. BFTV, my brother BFTV, he the same way. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with everything Blue Blood say, but he the same way. And you know, y'all know who the ones. A lot of let me see, hold on. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says, for instance, oh no, I read that. Butter B said, indeed. Catman 785 says, people that try to say stuff like what somebody else would or wouldn't for money make me question their morals. Yeah, you can't, everybody's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Money don't hold the same value to that person that it do to this person. Everybody ain't the same. Some people gonna stand on their square. But yeah. Butter B says simply quality over quantity. Right. It ain't a sprint, it's a marathon. You know, like Claressa Shields. They'll catch on soon. You know what I'm saying? She stick to her guns and continue to do what she doing. They'll eventually catch on. Simple as that. So, you know, salute to Claressa Shields on what she stand for and standing on what she stand for. But as far as that, I whoop Jake Paul, you know, I think she really believe that. I don't believe it, but who am I to tell her what she can't do? At the end of the day, who are we to tell her what she can't do? I don't stand by the shit that she's saying, but hey, that's her. It is what it is. Land of the 216, salute. But moving on, and this is the last subject, right? This is the last topic. Moving on. Eddie Hearn has came out and he let it be known. Okay, you already know I'm gonna be over there, BFTV. You already know I'm gonna be right there in the chat, waiting for you to cook on this situation, BFTV. Hey, because you know I want to hear what you gotta say. I want to hear what you gotta say. You know, but moving on, Eddie Hearn, he came out and he didn't let it be known that Anthony Joshua is taking the immediate rematch. He says that they looking at, you know, springtime, sometime in March or April, something like that. He said he taking the immediate rematch. And he's saying that Anthony Joshua don't feel like he did when he took the Andrew Ruiz loss, right? He's saying because the Andrew Ruiz loss was more devastating. This loss was just, you know, he just had the wrong game plan, right? He's saying this loss is different than the Andrew Ruiz loss because, you know, he got knocked down 5 times. He was hurt. He says this fight, he just fought the wrong game plan. And he knows that Anthony Joshua can be better in a second fight. Now, I was listening and I listened very closely to everything that he was saying. And I'm going to give my take on this. I didn't agree with shit that he was saying because it comes a time to where you look at a fight, and I like Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua, he has talent, a lot of talent, punching power, certain techniques he has, certain techniques he don't have, but he has talent. But see, the thing about Anthony Joshua, right? And Eddie Hearn, and I talked about this the other day. I said, you pushing him out there, right? It's like that kid that don't want to fight, but you kicking him into the motherfucking circle when he don't want to fight because he know he can't whoop this dude. But you kicking him out there. He got all that pressure on his back and he ain't got no fucking choice but to go out there. And this is the situation with Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn could try to say, oh, it's his choice. Yeah, it's his choice, but he ain't really got no choice when y'all putting all that pressure on his back. It's up to Eddie Hearn and the people around Anthony Joshua to look at the situation deeper. You better stay your ass away from Usyk. Usyk let you live, and this is he just better. He let you live. And the reason he's better is because Anthony Joshua, right? He don't have, first of all, right here, you got to have this. That come before anything else. He does not have the confidence in himself to do what he has to do to beat Usyk. He ain't that fighter no more. He don't have that confidence to do what he has to do to beat Usyk. And he knows, right? He knows that he don't have the chin to do what he has to do to beat Usyk, because in order to be the Anthony Joshua that we seen coming up in the game, that big dude that was doing, bulldoze you with combination punches, brute power, speed, and all of that. He still ain't had no head movement back then, right? But now he don't have the confidence to be that fighter no more, because he knows deep down inside, like I told y'all the other day, he knows that he don't have the chin. So him not having the chin, he don't have the confidence to be that fighter, because he knows in order to give some, you got to take some. In order to be that old fighter that Anthony Joshua was, that we used to see, he got to be able to take some. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way he's going to be able to even come close to beating Usyk. He got to be able to take a punch and continue to calm, not take a punch and be wobbly, eyes getting glazy. And he know that. You dig what I'm saying? He knows that in the back of his mind. So, like I told y'all, the safest thing in his mind for him to do, so he ain't got to feel that power and he ain't got to take that punch where he going to take some anyway, but is fight, right? Fight the way that gives him the least possibility of getting knocked out. Stand on the outside trying to box. And you can't outbox Usyk. You're not going to out, because next time he going to make you look more fucking stupid. And he going to knock you clean out. Because now you gave him the confidence. Now he knows that you know what I'm saying, you ain't coming like that. So now he got the confidence. He going to come like that and knock your ass out. So it's just some battles you're not going to win. You stay away from Usyk, and you know what I'm saying, y'all come up with a different plan that don't include Usyk, because he go out there and get knocked out by Usyk or get his head boxed off again. That's going to do much worse. That's going to do a lot worse damage to his career than it would if he just stayed away from Usyk. Telling y'all, he don't want that fade. That pressure on his back. He know he got everybody. As soon as he hit that locker room, they all looking at him. They all looking, staring at him. And he knows the right thing to say. Only thing he can say is give me that immediate rematch. I want that immediate rematch. I know I can beat him. Bro, that's when your people should stand in. That's when, just like they stood in when they knew they didn't want you getting in the ring with Deontay Wilder. This is the time right now to stand in front of Anthony Joshua and tell him, you know what? You know what? You don't need to do that. You know what? We got other plans for you. We got other plans for you, and we're gonna come up with something else, but you don't need to do that. You'll get them belts back later on. Don't worry about it right now. We're not tripping. You still got a long, illustrious career ahead of you. He's not winning that battle. That don't mean that Anthony Joshua is a bum or none of that. Certain battles you're not winning. And that's just how I feel about the situation. You ain't winning that one. Stay away from him. It's gonna get ugly. I'm telling y'all. It's gonna get more ugly than it already is. You wait 6-7 months and step back in the ring with that man. Different situation. Like this is a total different situation than the situation that he was in when he fought Ruiz. This time, this man put a lesson on you for 12 straight rounds, and at certain different times in the fight, he could have got you up out of there. He carried him. Look at the last round. Joshua sat on that stool for like 10 minutes. Wouldn't even get up. He ain't get knocked out. He got beaten for 12 straight rounds. That's worse. That's punishment. And he showed everybody. We all watched it. We watched it live right here. He showed everybody. You know what? This man is just better than me. It ain't no I had a tough night. He's just better than me. Because everything starts right here. Everything starts right there. If you know, you know. He ain't got it right there to beat Usyk. Now, some of these other fighters, yeah, he could get away with only, not having full confidence in himself. He could outbox some, he could outbox them. Usyk he's just on a different level. And it's a bad stylistic matchup for Anthony Joshua with the mindset that he has. Miggy Live said Anthony Joshua looks like he goes in nervous and scared every time I see him fight. He never looks confident. Yeah, it's all about that right there. He don't have it. And it doesn't mean that he's a trash fighter. It don't mean that he don't have skills. He got skills. He don't have the confidence. And he don't have the skills to get in there and outbox Anthony Joshua. He don't have the confidence to go through the fire that he need to get that win. He don't have that fire, right, to go out there and say, you know what? I don't give a fuck. It's either going to be me or him. I'm laying it all out on the line, and it's either going to be me or him. So I'm either going to get knocked out or he going to knock me out. I'm either going to knock him out or he going to knock me out. He don't have that in him. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, no disrespect to Anthony Joshua. He's just not that type of he's not built like that. He don't have it in him like that. He not built like that. Low Blow Champ says, he says, I've been saying Wilder was send AJ to the moon. AJ can fight, but he's fragile physically and mentally sometimes. That's one of the worst traits you can have in boxing is to not have no head movement, but not have a chin at the same time. If you don't have a chin in the heavyweight division, you better have good defense and have good head movement. He don't have neither one of them. You seen how Usyk was hitting him with straight lefts all night, whenever he wanted to. Bop, 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 bop. All night. Anthony Joshua had no answer to it. What you think he gonna do next time? Anthony Joshua been fighting since been boxing for a long time, 10 plus years, right? Well over 10 years now. His defense is what it is. His chin is what it is. 6 or 7 months is not going to make his chin no harder, and 6 or 7 months ain't going to make his defense that much better. It just is what it is. It's not like he ever had those tools in the bag, right? See, the difference between Wilder, if you go back to Wilder, go through Wilder's career, he had the things that we seeing him do on video, right? He already had those tools in the bag. He just stopped using them. Anthony Joshua, he's never had those tools in the bag. That's the difference. So, yeah, stay away from that man. That's the smart thing to do. Because them throwing him out there in the fire, it's only going to do, it's going to damage his career. You know what I'm saying? It's going to damage his career. Low Blow Champ says Usyk had him drunk, and he said at the end of the 12th, Wilder would spark. He said Usyk had him drunk at the end of the 12th. He said Wilder would spark him without question. Laugh out loud would be ugly. I was saying that back then. I was saying back then when I used to break down the fight when we was still like, is they gonna fight? Is they not gonna fight? I was saying Wilder gonna knock him out within 4 rounds. I said, ain't no way he gonna go past 4 rounds with Wilder. This is not, the styles. It'll be real ugly for Anthony Joshua. But yeah. Votes UK say Usyk, AJ2 to cash out. And salute to you. It might be that. You know why? Because Eddie Hearn was already talking about like, oh, the second fight will be so much bigger and this and that. So, these you got to look out for yourself sometimes, because we see these promoters. If Eddie Hearn looking at Anthony Joshua and he knows like, okay, he ain't what I thought he was, or, whatever, I don't know, whatever he look and he think that, and he say, you know what? I just throw him in there with Usyk, you know what I'm saying? Let's just go ahead and get this shit over with. I'm going to get as much money off of him while I can right now. And like you said, a cash out. But see, that's when you got to, as Anthony Joshua, you got to look at what's the best for your career at that point in time. I feel that way. He better stay away from Usyk. Don't get ugly. And I don't usually say type shit like this. I don't usually say this, but yeah, from what I saw, nah. Mr. G says, after the first Ruiz fight, AJ might have that AB syndrome that he got after fight Marcos Maidana. That's what he has. We seen, we seen his fights after that. We seen him in the second Ruiz fight. He was scared. Ruiz was just, like I said, 400, looked like he was 400 pounds. Ruiz was just 300 pounds, fucking slow as hell, couldn't move, out of shape and flabby, and a whole bunch of other shit, adjectives added to it. That was Andrew Ruiz in that fight. So Ruiz let Anthony Joshua off the hook by the way he came in the fight. We still see Anthony Joshua, he was scared. Anytime Ruiz got anywhere near him, motherfucker, he was trying to run and get the fuck up out of there. Pulev, come on, like I said, Pulev is old as shit. Who the fuck is Pulev? You know what I'm saying? Of course, Anthony Joshua knew he beaten Pulev. And Pulev was coming off of COVID. Just like my man 503 Lion said. Pulev was coming off of COVID. You know what I'm saying? We forgot about that. And Pulev not coming off of COVID still would have got knocked out by Anthony Joshua. So that wasn't no threat. Wasn't no threat. So he goes right into the Usyk fight with the same mentality that he been having, but I overlooked it. I was wrong because I overlooked it, and I should have known, damn, he been scared in every fight that we've seen him fight in since he got knocked out. But see, even in the Pulev fight, he was real timid in the beginning, But then after a while, he started gaining confidence because he seen, oh, this motherfucker, he ain't got no smoke for me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and get him up out of there because he's not giving me no type of resistance. Man, Pulev ain't, go back and watch that fight. Pulev ain't had no smoke for him. Pulev didn't do shit in that fight. Low Blow said Usyk got crazy talent, but AJ should have been able to edge it out, or at least make it debatable. Well, he don't have the mentality, and he don't have, because if he had to, because this is you got to understand from watching AJ what his mind, right? What his mindset is, right? You can look at him and tell he's confused with himself because but salute to Usyk because Usyk made him that way. When Usyk came out in that first round, it hit him with them fucking 2 straight left hands and then came around with that hook. He let Joshua know right there. And Joshua knew right there that I ain't trying to get hit like that. So I don't have the chin to go through what I know I have to go through to get this victory. I don't have the chin. Because I could very easily suffer the same fate that I suffered when I fought Andrew Ruiz. That shit is still in the back of his head. If I go out there, right, against opponents like Usyk, right, we ain't talking about no Pulev, against opponents that's on the A level, if I go out there and do me, the fighter that I am, not this boxer, because, yeah, I could do that against some of these fighters, but not the A. I got to be who I am. I know I'm probably going to get knocked out. I don't want to suffer that same fate that I did with Andrew Ruiz. And I think that's what he's thinking in his head. You know, he's having conflicts with himself in his head. Should I just go out there and, you know, do what I got to do? If I get knocked out, I get knocked out. Or, nah, I ain't trying to feel what I felt against Andrew Ruiz. That's in his head. Y'all can think it ain't if you want to. That shit is in the back of his head, mind. And just like my man said, it's like AB. For years and years, AB never admitted that Marcos Maidana fight fucked him up. But now, recently, after years, he finally came and he let us know, like, that fight fucked me up. I ain't been the same since I fought Marcos Maidana. That's probably why I don't let my hands go. You seen Anthony Joshua wasn't letting his hands go. But one reason he wasn't letting his hands go is because Usyk was giving him too much lateral movement. So Anthony Joshua, he was fucking Anthony Joshua's brain up, his ring IQ. He was moving laterally in all type of, you know, different, the footwork that Usyk has, it was confusing Anthony Joshua. It's like, do I go here? Do I go here? Do I stop and set and punch right here? Do I go over here? He don't know, you know what I'm saying? He don't know what the fuck to do. Yeah. So it's just bad. It ain't shit gonna change in a rematch. Usyk got more confidence now. So it is what it is. Steve Tiz, salute. Andrew 100, salute. But y'all make sure that y'all hit my like button. Smash on my like button. Like I said, smash on the like button. Smash on my like button. Let's get the likes up. And yeah, that's about all for today. Another great show. Like I said, I always come in here and cook. They not putting my notifications out like they supposed to. So make sure that y'all smash on my like button. I appreciate everybody for coming in. Smash the like button once again. Like I said, if you ain't smashed the like button, smash the like button. And I appreciate everybody for coming through. And y'all already know how I do. We'll be back tomorrow. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.